Hello everyone. You might have seen that recently the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has made a statement that India is very much strategically important for them and they are committed to maintain a good and healthy relations with India. So we are going to talk about today that why Canada is trying to pursue or why Canada still needs a better relations with India. Over the last 2 weeks we have seen that there have been a conflict going on between India and Canada due to some allegations which has been made by the Canadian Prime Minister in its parliament. Okay. So Justin Trudeau, he has made an allegation against India that India has been involved in the killing of a terrorist, a person who has been designated as a terrorist by India, Hardeep Singh Nijjar. Okay. So just after this, a number of such diplomatic scuffles happened. We have seen that over the last 2 weeks, many such statements have been made from both sides. India has said that all these claims are absurd and Canada has not provided any verifiable such proof or anything like that. Okay. So these things are going on and still Canada has made this statement recently that it wants to pursue a better relations with India. So today we are going to see that why Canada needs a better relation with India. We are also going to see a brief timeline of how these things have unfolded, what is the events which have occurred in the last 2 weeks, and we are going to see why Canada needs India. Okay, so I am Kinshuk Parashar and you can follow me on Telegram at this ID. So today we are going to see that how these events have unfolded. If we talk about the unwinding of the current conflict, you know that in June 2023, Hardeep Singh Nijjar, now he is a person who has been designated as a terrorist by India. He is he is believed to be one of the supporters of Khalistan movement. Now, he is a Canadian citizen and he has been murdered in June 2023. Now, what happened that a few weeks ago, just after the G20 summit, the Canadian Prime Minister in the Parliament of Canada made an allegation. What was the allegation? That there may be chances of involvement of Indian government or its agents in the murder of Hardeep Singh Nijjar. Okay. Now, how India has responded? India has said that all these claims are absurd and it may be motivated by the domestic politics or any other means. Okay. So this is what has happened. And one more thing, just after making this statement, Canada has also expelled one of the Indian diplomat from Ottawa, saying that he was one of the leading person or he was the head of intelligence agency of India in Canada. He was leading those agents who might have been involved in killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar. So this is how the story unfolded. And in response to Canada's claim, what we have seen that India has also expelled a Canadian diplomat. The Canadian diplomat who was serving in India has also been expelled. At the same time, India has also asked Canada to reduce its number of diplomats in India. India has said that Canada has too many diplomats in comparison to the number of diplomats that India is having in Canada. So their numbers must be cut down, their number must be reduced. Then we have also seen that government has issued a travel advisory. Government has issued a travel advisory for the Indian people, for the Indian citizens who are visiting Canada. Even the students who are there, the community who are there, they have been alerted that there might be some incidents towards them. There may be some hate or there may be some targeted attacks towards them. Okay. So government has also warned the students, also intimidated them, also have alerted them that there may be some hatred against them in Canada. Okay. Basically, you might be aware about this, that a sizable population of Sikh community is residing in Canada. Okay. And at the same time, Indian government has also called that Canada has been even supporting the Khalistan group, Khalistan movement, the extremist groups. It has also been serving as a safe haven for the terrorists who are there. Okay. So this is one thing. India has also suspended visa services in Canada. Okay. And it has also asked Canada to cut the number of its diplomats in India. So India has given a equal reply to Canada also about these absurd claims. Okay. Then after, India has also made a statement that Canada is acting as a safe haven for terrorists, extremists, and organized crime. Now you know that generally these type of statements are made for countries such as Pakistan. Okay. But now India has also said that Canada is acting as a safe haven for terrorists, extremists, and organized crime. So this was a huge statement made by India in this behalf. Okay. Now, so while all these things are going on, you can see that over the last 2 weeks, the relation between India and China, it has been like getting a severe blow. And amid all these things, in the middle of all these things, now the Canadian Prime Minister has made a statement that they want to have a better relation with India. So the question is, why this change in heart? Why this change of heart? Why the Canadian Prime Minister is pursuing or trying to pursue a healthy relation, a cordial relation with India? Okay. So let us try to understand that why India is strategically important for them. Okay. So if we look at it, the first thing is strategic importance of India. If we talk about India, India is one of the largest growing economies, world's fastest growing economy, with a population which is 35 times bigger than that of Canada. Our population is around 35 times bigger than that of Canada. That makes India one of the largest markets of the world. Okay. Then, since 2018, India has been Canada's largest source country for international students. Okay. Since 2018, India has been the largest source of international students for Canada as well. Okay. So this is also one of the remarkable things. You can see in 2022, around 47% growth was seen in case of Indian students. Nearly around 3,20,000 students, which accounts for nearly 40% of all international students in Canada. Okay. They are all from India. So there's sizable number of foreign students are coming from India, 40%. Okay. At the same time, India was also the 10th largest trading partner of Canada in 2022. Okay. So India was the 10th largest trading partner of Canada in 2022. If you talk about Canada's importance for India in these terms, you can see we have Canada as 35th largest trading partner. So Canada is our 35th largest trading partner. It is not in top 10, not in top 20. It is the 35th largest trading partner. Okay. Our trade with Canada is not that much high. And even that small trade is in favor of India largely. Okay. Now, it is true that a large number of the foreign tourists' arrival in India is from Canada. Okay. A large proportion of the foreign tourist arrival in India is from Canada. But you should also be aware about one more thing, that about 75% of those foreign tourists who are coming from Canada, they are belonging to Sikh community. Okay. So they are basically overseas citizens of India. And this is one remarkable thing, that even after all these conflicts, they will still be visiting as it is their home. Okay. Now, so there is one thing. First, we have seen that the strategic importance of India is very much high. The second important thing is the foreign policy of Canada. Now, you know that in the recent times, we have seen that China has been over assertive, over aggressive, and its influence in the Pacific region, its influence in the Indo-Pacific region has been growing. It is a matter of concern for the entire Western economies. And they find India as a suitable partner, as a considerable partner in managing China or even countering China. Okay. So basically, even for Canada, even Canada has said that China is a disruptive power, and it says that it wants to strengthen ties with country in the Indo-Pacific region. Even if we look at its foreign policy, it has seen China as a disruptive power, and it has even said that it wants to strengthen its relation with in the Indo-Pacific region. Okay. At the same time, you can see that it has a particular focus on India. Basically, you can see the entire naming of Asia Pacific as Indo-Pacific. It tells us about the strategic importance of India in these times. Okay. Then after, we can also see there has been cold response by the Five Eyes Alliance. Basically, Five Eyes Alliance is a grouping of 5 countries: Canada, United States, United Kingdom, Australia, and New Zealand. Okay. This has been formed in the Second World War era, post that Second World War era, and they are sharing intelligence with each other. So now, the 5 alliance countries, okay, so basically, they have been giving cold response against the allegations which have been made by Canada. Canada has shared these things with even the Five Eyes Alliance countries, but their response has been largely cold. Okay. So what they have said, if we talk about US is saying that the Washington is deeply concerned about the allegations which has been made by the Canadian Prime Ministers about the Indian government involvement in this case. Okay. But then there was another person, an ex-Pentagon official, who said that Canada picking up a fight with India is like an ant locking horns with an elephant. India is far too more important to US than Canada. Of course, it has been said that, of course, Canada is a dependable ally. But then Canada's might is much more lower than India. Okay. So that's why they have not been giving the same response which Canada wanted. Okay. If we look at other countries' response, United Kingdom, they have said that they are in close touch with Canadian partners about these allegations. But they also made it clear that now they are going to continue the trade talks with India. So they are not putting that on hold. They are trying to continue their trade talks with India. Recently, India and Canada, they were also trying to negotiate a trade deal, which has now been halted. But United Kingdom has said that they will continue with that deal. They will continue with their trade talks. Okay. Then after Australia also said that it is deeply concerned and it believes that all countries should respect sovereignty and rule of law. Okay. But none of the big 5 alliances, they have been making any strong statements against India. Okay. Even New Zealand, if we talk about it, New Zealand has remained silent for a long period of time, and then after they have made a simple statement. If those claims were proven true, that would be a serious concern. Okay. And they have said that they are not going to comment further because this is an ongoing investigation. So basically, Canada has assumed that the Five Eyes Alliance, they are going to respond better, they are going to respond stronger. It has been seen that in 2018, there was another case involving the Russian officers, and in that, Skripal case was there, and in that it has been seen that the Five Eyes Alliance countries, they have responded equally. All of them have expelled some of the Russian diplomats from their country. More than 150 plus Russian diplomats were sent back by all these Five Eyes Alliance countries. But Canada has not received the same response in case of its allegations over India. Okay. Now, if we talk about why they have not been acting, why the Western world has not been taking the matter too much seriously. First of all, India's reputation as a responsible power. Reputation as a responsible power. We have always advocated for no interference in the internal politics of any country. It has been our policy that we are going to follow the rule of law, and it has been our commitment throughout the history of India's independence. Okay. So first of all, we are a responsible power. The second major important thing, that we are the most populous country, the fifth largest economy, and the second largest military in the world. Okay. At the same time, all these five alliance countries, including Canada, they have built a strategy that largely focuses on India as a bulwark and counterweight to China. Okay. Now, this is something which they are not going to toss out of window just because Canada have made some absurd allegations. Okay. Then after, at the one more important point, India is the anchor of the West Indo-Pacific strategy. It is the part of the two quads. Okay. It is the part of the two quads on the eastern part also, on the western side also. It's eastern quad also, western quad also, and also a member of AUKUS. Okay. So if we look at this, Canada is not a member of the two quads or even the AUKUS, which has been seen as a resistance to China. There is one more thing. It has been seen that in the recent times, it has come into media reports also that China has been interfering in the Canadian election system, in the Canadian politics, and they are helping Justin Trudeau to remain in power. It has been alleged by various media outlets also. Okay. So there is a China angle also, due to which India has made claims that all these allegations are absurd and seems motivated. Okay. So these are the current developments in India-Canada row. Okay. Thank you for watching this, and we will be covering more such detail. Thank you very much.